Hello everybody, it's Maria, and first of all I want to tell you Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. And today I wanted to show you how I made this sparkly earring. And it's going to be a little, of course I'm going to show you everything, but today I'm going to try to show you first of all how I made this bubble rose. It's originally a technique used on nail art. You know, you put them on your nails and put some Swarovski crystals and pearls and things like that. But I just thought it would be really nice to just thought it would make really good accessories too, and I finally came up with a nice idea to combine my polymer polymer clay and this little bubble rose. So it's gonna be a little hard because the camera is right in my face and I'm gonna have to do some really tiny detailed work. But first of all, here is some clear, hard gel for nails. You could use resin, but I find resin a little too thin to make these little bubble roses. So, and the curing time for resin is a little long. So I like to use this clear, hard nail gel. And what I'm going to need is a needle tool, something sharp like this. And first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just scoop up a little bit of clear gel and wait until it pulls up into a like a, it doesn't have to be a complete round tip, but something like this. I think it's about 2.5 millimeters, but anyway, okay. So we have this little drop of hard clay at the tip of the needle tool, and what I'm going to do is flash cure for 10 seconds. I don't want my gel curing. So, and I'm spinning it around. I think you can see I'm spinning it around in the lamp because I want to keep it as round as possible. And the next thing I'm going to do is just kind of take the little, there's always some little gel stuck on the sides like that. I'm going to put it on this little tiny ball, and I'm going to stick this ball into this glitter. Like this. It's nice and sparkly. And I want to go back in to the clear gel, but if I go back in like this, the glitter is just going to start flowing out all over. So first of all, I'm going to take clear gel and kind of give it a tap and coat the glitter. And after I coat the glitter, I'm going to put it back into my lamp again for 10 seconds. And I'm twirling it around like a glass blower. And then I am going to dip it straight down into the clear gel, and just deep enough so the clear gel closes around the nail tool. And I want to get the excess off, so I'm just sort of going to tap around a little bit. And here I have the center of the flower, like this. And then I'm going to put it in my lamp again for 10 seconds, twirl it around, and okay. So now the center is ready. It still looks like a tip of a match, but it's fine. And because I made a glittery silver piece out of polymer clay, I'm going to use, first of all, I'm going to use some vanilla. This is nail gel. But if you don't have nail gel and you want to try it, you could use acrylic paints too. But I think it'll take a little time for it to dry, so well, if you're patient, it's no problem. I'm going to take a little bit of this vanilla on my nail art brush, and I'm going to draw, no, not really draw, paint like a half circle on one side of this little tip. And then I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to paint the opposite side again, like a half circle. So you don't really need to be good at drawing or anything to do this, because you're just going to be painting half circles and curing. And dipping. So it's just you just have to repeat. So now I have this, I hope the focus is right. This tip with a white half circle on both sides, and what I'm going to do now is dip it into my clear gel again. Don't go down too deep, and then bring it straight up, and again take the excess, just tap it to the sides, take the excess off, and hold it straight up, and let the gravity do its work. And then we're going to put it into the lamp again for 10 seconds. And now I'm going to take some more of this vanilla. And now I'm going to paint a half circle right in between the previous petals. Just a half circle like that. And on the opposite side too. And what's important about this is you have to go down just a little lower than the previous layers of petal you did to get the desired effect. And in the lamp again. And this center part is really going to be magnified when it's done. So I'm dipping it in again, bringing it straight up, and it just becomes so fun to watch the little ball grow. I hope this focus is okay. And sometimes you can turn it upside down and twirl around a little bit to get a even amount of clear gel. This is how it looks now. And it's going to go back into the lamp. Okay, and because I chose a really glittery color effect clay, I want to do just one layer of silver. I just want to do one silver layer petals. So just the same, I take a little bit on my brush, and then again, excuse me, I'm gonna find the places in between the previous petals. And as the ball grows, naturally your half circle will have to start getting bigger. And one more thing is you want to keep the top edges of the petals really crisp. You know, you want a lot of pigment on the top edge. Oops, I'm sorry. Into the lamp. And dip. Take off the excess. As much as you can. And I think you can see the silver petals. So I'm gonna cure it again. And I want to do 2 more layers. So I just wanted this silver for an accent, so I'm going to put it aside. And now I'm going to take a gray colored nail gel, wipe my brush, and repeat the same thing. Go in between and a little bit lower than the previous. Just draw a half circle. I think 3 petals works best. 3 petals for every layer. Okay. Sorry, this must be hard to see, but I just thought it might be fun to show you how I make these. And it's out of the lamp. So into the gel it goes. And I did a class once on making this, and some people were so worried that their roses, their bubble roses, won't get round, but as you can see, if you just keep on dipping it straight up and pulling it straight up, it works just fine. And the previous layer is cured, so you don't have to worry about tapping the edges to take the excess off. focus, please. Focus, focus. There, I think. Okay, so I'm going to put it back in the lamp. And I'm going to paint one more layer of the gray. And that should be just right for the size I made. Okay. Okay, and it's going to go into the clear gel for one last time. I want the gel to close up the on top of the needle tool. And I'm going to twirl around, tap, 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 take off the excess, flip it over, turn it around to, it's really like a glass blower's work, you know. You have to keep turning it around to get it into a nice looking ball. Make it as round as possible. But you know, you'll only be seeing seeing it from the front side, so rather the top, so you don't have to worry too much about making it complete. Okay, so it's ready to go into the lamp. Okay, let me close this. I don't know, is it focusing? Yeah, I'm sorry, you know, I really have to put my face close to this rose when I actually do it, but because I had to do it behind my camera. You know, it's a little wobbly, but I guess it's okay. And now, lastly, I'm going to dip it into a non-white top coat, which is really, really thin like water. Take off the excess. And I'm going to put it in my lamp this time for 30 seconds. I'm twirling around, twirling around. Okay, a little bit crooked, but here's my little bubble rose. And all I have to do is give it a twist, take it off. You could see the center sparkling. And what I did was I cut out whatever color clay, in this case a glittery silver, and I cut this, I think this is a 30mm cutter. I just cut it out, and what I did was I wanted to make a place for this little bubble rose to sit. So I took my ball tool and I just slowly, gently rolled it around and baked it. And I'm gonna have to file. I'll do it later. And you know, the point is, you know, it's gonna, well, it has a little tail right now, you can see, after I pulled it off the needle tool. But I will file this off, and when it's filed off, it sits perfectly in this little hole. So that was the whole idea of making this. You know, I could make the bubble rose flat on the back, but you know, I don't want it to be popping up too high, so what I did was make a little crater on the base where I want to do this. So I'm going to leave this rose aside for one moment, and now we're going to do the little scrolls, and it's the same thing. We've done it before. I think some of you have watched my foiling videos. So I'm going to use the same Moira. Oh God, this thing is getting so dirty. Moira foil gel. And as always, I stuck my piece on a bottle cap, so I'll be able to work on it easier instead of holding it on the table. And now, to do the scrolls, I take a bit make a little curve towards the little crater I made. And I'm going to make this look like a leaf. And you know, you can just draw a leaf or whatever you like, but I just like to do these swirlies. I might do one on the outside. And now the opposite side. Start a little bit lower. Pull. Take a little more. And one more maybe here. Make a dot and pull. And you don't want to leave these sides open, so I'm just going to kind of keep on making tiny, like commas, you know, just dot the tail. Dot and a tail. And maybe on this side too. Dot and a tail. Okay. And now I'm going to take my dotting tool here. And you could do it with your brush, but I think the dotting tool works a little bit better than the brush. And I'm going to add some, maybe a big dot here. And tiny ones next to it. And we have some space here too. So again, maybe a big dot in the middle. And two smaller ones on the side. And then we're ready to cure this for 30 seconds. And what I did for this was I used a technique called soutache or soutache. Some people pronounce it differently, but I don't know. Maybe I might show you how I do this. It's going to take a little long, but this is a very simple design, so maybe it might come up later when I'm up to it. Okay, so we have it cured. And now I'm going to need some gold foil. And here is how I drew the patterns. And I'm going to take this very thin Moira foil and just touch and release, touch and release. You know, some people send me photos of their first attempt with this foiling, and some of them are really good, you know, and I'm really happy that I was able to give you an idea of something new. And, you know, because the silver is really sparkly too, that's why I didn't use silver, I used gold, because I thought it would stand out better. And so, if you don't want to keep a matte look on your clay, you're going to have to take your thin brush and just coat these lines again with resin or clear gel, whatever. And then, where'd my little rose go? Oh, here he is. Then the rose is going to sit here like so. Oops. Let me just try to file it down a little bit so. It'll give you a better idea of how it sits in there. Okay, so I took the tail off. And there. I think it's kind of cute. And of course you can try it in different colors, and you know, if you think, oh no, this bubble rose, I can't possibly do that, it could be a pearl, or you can even stick a pointed back Swarovski crystal in there and draw some swirls around it, because you can't, I wouldn't recommend baking pearls or, you know, things made out of gel nail or resin, but you can cook, I mean bake, I'm sorry, you can bake for, crystals, so there's no problem in putting a Swarovski crystal in here and doing the same thing. You can get another different effect. So anyway, this video was, I think, the longest I made, but I hope it was helpful. And if I decide to do this, soutache, people have been asking me, you know, some people think this is clay, but this is just a piece of, it's like a thin ribbon, and you know, you kind of sew it together and make shapes like this. It's a very interesting technique. So maybe one day I'll come back with this. But anyway, thank you all again for watching, and I hope this new year brings you a lot of happiness and happy claying. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.